Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today because I just got a call, actually while I was doing my last video, from a guy who he called to tell me that the my old handler from the company I got life insurance from, they had left, and he wanted to introduce himself, that he was my new handler. I was like, okay, great, and I was like, who is this? Like, wait, because the company, they had merged, and then they had demerged or whatever, and so I didn't recognize the name. I was like a little confused, and it's like, is now an okay time to talk? Which is a great question. And I was like, no, Ashley, is there any way you can give me a call later? He's like, sure, what time? Because he called me at like 1 p.m., Eastern Standard Time, something like that. I was like, any time after 7 is good. He's like, 7? Okay. Now, normally people don't, 9 to 5, and they're out of there. But this guy works not only 9 to 5, but because a lot of people in insurance, they're independent business owners, so they do get 1099, and 1099 is when you don't get a W-2, like a W-2 tax return form. 1099 is like, okay, this is your stuff, you are responsible for paying tax and all that other stuff. And so he does that. He gives me a call like 7:03. I'm still making the other video. I was like, ah. And then I had the end of the video, like 5 minutes later. I was like, okay, done with this video. Answer his call. Hello. And then he's like, hey, it's me. I was like, oh, sorry about that before, but he was still working at that hour. I don't know if it was specifically just for me or if that's just what he does normally. But anyone that works, that accommodates their schedule, especially if they're just working a normal 9 to 5, but anyone that accommodates my schedule and they have to work longer hours because of that, I want to do business with that person. What I tell my clients is I tell them, like, you guys ever watch The Office? I'm like Dwight. I don't take days off. I don't get sick. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't have a family. This is what I do, and I mean it. My clients mean the world to me because without them, I have no money. Without that, I have no one to lend my money to. I don't get interest back on it. And, me and my clients form like a symbiont circle. Like, because what happens to one affects the other. Like, if I don't have money to give, they don't get money. If they don't pay me back, I don't get the money back. Like, I want to make sure they succeed. And I do stuff that other big banks will not touch because they're idiotic and they see, like, oh, well, this guy's got shitty credit. Why would I give him money? Well, look at why this person has shitty credit. This person has shitty credit because he works on, like, after, let's say they're in construction, and they get draws. Let's say that's a $100,000 job. He gets 10 grand, and the last draw he doesn't get until after he finishes the whole project. So let's say he has a little bit, he got what he got to buy the materials for the job, to pay the people for the job, to support himself because he's a business owner and he needs to live. And they're not giving him the last 30% until 30 days after the job is completed. But he's got another job to do. So what does he have to do? Okay, he has to use his credit cards. He has to buy equipment with that credit cards, or rent equipment and pay his people. And that's why he's owed a lot of money, but he just, his credit went down because he sacrificed his personal credit for the business. People, if anyone watched Stan Lee's Superheroes or Superhumans, when he had, like, who wants to be a superhero? Who's the next superhero? One of the main things that makes a hero is self-sacrifice. You're sacrificing your own personal credit, where now you can't get financing from bank, you can't buy a house, you get horrible rates on a car or mortgage, whatever it is. They're doing that for the overall success of the business, and they're taking care of their guys or girls, whoever works for them. And a lot of big banks don't see that. They want you to be perfect. It's like some of those employers are like, okay, we need like 10 years experience, and but you need to be young. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So all these other big banks are saying, like, oh, they need to be perfect. Like, in what world? Like, not everyone is perfect, and people that are trying to build their businesses, they need a little help. So hell yeah, I'm gonna help, and I think that's what helped me make myself $100,000 in just the last few years. Even though I lost 90 grand of it this year because of COVID, because people couldn't pay back. They closed their doors, they closed their businesses, God, I lost everything. But that's the type of person I want to do business with. People that not overextend themselves. People that say, like, no, I'll work. What do you need? I'll do it. Like, I'm his client. So his job is to take care of me, and helps between my clients. So again, if everyone was like that, if everyone was like, hey, I'll help. I know I'm not supposed to be working right now because I did my time, but I'll work longer for you. If every person did that for everyone else, the world, oh God, we help each other do so much. And that's who I want to do business with. Anyone that does that, I absolutely respect. They're hustling, and he was younger than me too. I'm only 29. He was 27. He was born in '92, so he might be 28. I don't know. We got to talking a lot, but that's just something that I wanted to bring up, saying like I thoroughly enjoy people that do that, that just work hard. And honestly, I don't care if you have a degree. I work with a bunch of people with MBAs. I work with a bunch of people that do have college degrees. They're much, much smarter than me. But I work hard. When I came here, every single person here was better. I'm not like a sales guy. I'm not. Every single person that worked here was better than me. Some of them still are. I out-earn a lot of them because I work harder. Because I do whatever it takes. I try my absolute best. And same thing, if I see someone that, sales experience, whatever, versus someone that just works hard, like, I'll do a working interview with both. And I want them to work. If they're working hard, that takes a cake over everything. That's something that all of my employers have noticed. Whether it was from the animal hospitals or in the military, like, oh no, this guy books it. That's just something that I really love. So I think also, that'll help you in life, is just working hard, and try to be kind of like, it's one thing if you work hard and but then you're kind of like an asshole. It's like, take care of your guys, okay, cool, but you're kind of a dick. But if they and I see guys like that, I take them or leave them, whatever, they are the way they are. But when people like help animals, it's really cool. Like my friend Nicole, that was she texted me like, hey, I saw as I was leaving, there's a bug in front of in this place. And I was like, oh my God, like she cared enough to like say like, hey, I saw it, I couldn't do it, I was doing something else, and can you go rescue it for me? Like she cared enough to do that, because in this I was sometimes a bunch of foot traffic, and that bug would have died. Now the bug only had one leg, and when I let it outside, like it was one of those leaf bugs where they look like a leaf, and that's how they camouflage. Had a bunch of front legs, one big back leg, and was supposed to have another big back leg, but then that back leg was gone, so it probably died anyway. But the fact that she cared enough to like, hey, this little guy is great, and she's a business owner also, so I love that. Like if any of you guys have a business, like let me know, let me buy something from you. Like my friend Dario that I met on Reddit like years back, and then I ran into him in Switzerland when I went to Europe last year. Great guy. He's starting a clothing company. So I pre-ordered a shirt, because whatever your friends are doing, it doesn't matter if you have to pay more. Like if I had my friend Escobar. She was doing this thing called Amway, where she had energy drinks and she had toothpaste, she had everything. And if I had to pay a little bit more, let's say $3 energy drink from her versus $2 or $4 from her versus $3 somewhere else, like, or same brand toothpaste, whatever it is, but I pay a little bit more with her versus somewhere else, I would so much rather give my money to her, even if I had to pay a little bit more, to support my friend, as opposed to supporting like Walmart or Target. Or not that Walmart or Target are bad companies, I don't know, but I'd rather support my friend. I'd rather give my friend that money. And I think if you make money, you have a responsibility to do that, to like. And I'm not saying to like support every stupid business decision some people make, because some people they're idiotic, and I wanted to try to make women's clothing, because I know a lot of people, like women, complain about not having pockets on their pants, on their dresses, on their anything, and of course I had that idea like right before COVID, and it's probably a bad idea to have a bunch of people working in a room and sewing clothes during COVID, so I won't do that. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. But guys, I have to go. I'm still at the office. I still have to go home. It's like 8 o'clock here. I still have Pokemon cards to wrap. I love you guys. I will talk to you all later. Chavez.